Dear student, in this lecture we will discuss how we can draw the custom shapes using C language. To draw the custom shapes, we must understand the basic workings of the functions in a C. Generally, there are three basic shapes are used to draw the another images. First is line, second is circle, and third one is polygon. So in this video we will discuss how we can use the line or circle to draw the custom shapes, how you have to think when you draw the image, how you will incorporate with the screen pixels, screen coordinates values. So you must have a clear picture in your mind when you start to draw the image in a C language. So first we will start with the line functions. What is line function? Go to the help, select index, then type line, that is there is a line functions, and there is a line macro as well. So we have two line function here. So what is the line functions? Line function draw a line between two specified points. What are the specified points? Specified points are the starting point of the line denoted by two coordinates, that is x axis and y axis. Coordinates of starting points are denoted using x1 and y1, and the coordinates of the end point of the lines are denoted using x2 and y2. So when we have to draw a line, we must specify what is the value of first coordinate point of line, that is a value of first coordinates, that is x1 y1, and then the last coordinate or end point of line, that is x2 y2. This function will automatically draw the line between these 2 points. Let's take an example. So when we start with the line function, first I will take some example random values, like my first point x1 is 200 and y1 is as well 200. So what about the x2? X2 becomes the 400 and my y, that is y2, will become the same. So after that, if we try to print the line, then we will see that it draw the small line on the screen. This line has a fixed y-axis value in both points, that is starting point or end point, but changing value in a x-axis, then it's x point. And the similar way, if we change the y coordinates of starting point and ending point, then how it works, then we will remain the same, of the x-axis value, but changes the y-axis value. Now you will see the difference of this. Now we have changed the y value, both star of endpoint, but x-axis of endpoint and starting point remains same. In the same way, if we change the x-axis and y-axis of endpoints, then how it will look like. I am changing it randomly. So line will look like this. It is a slanting line. So this is the example how we can draw the line by using the different starting and end points, and by making the variations in x-axis and y-axis of endpoints or starting point as well. If we change the value of starting points y-axis, then you will see that star line drawn is different. So this is the basic fundamental how we can use the starting and end point x coordinates value according to our requirements, that how we can draw the line. Now if we have to draw the basic shape just like a square using a line, then how we will think about the coordinates, and then how we can draw this step by step by firstly draw the image in our mind, that how uh, the second line will be start and end, then how third line will be start and end, and similar the fourth line as well. We start with the first line. Let's say I'm taking the coordinates, that is 200, 200, that is the value of x1 is 200, value of y1 is 200. In the similar way, now I am changing the value of x2 by 350 by taking the y1 value is same. So this is the first line r square having a 150 difference from the first point to second point. Now see, this is the line of our first line of r square. Now we have to start from the end point. So what is the end point of this? That is the 350 to 200. So when we draw the second line of square, end point of first line become the first point of the second line. So of end point of first line is 350 200. So it becomes the first coordinates or first point of the second line. Now we have to draw the line in a y-axis form, y-axis directions, by making the difference of 150 pixels or 150 value, because squares, all sides of square have the same values and same sides are equal. So when we have to draw the second line in a y-axis direction, in that case we have to change the value of y-axis by remaining the x-axis value same. In that case our second value becomes the first point is first line of same as a last point of first line becomes the first point of second line, and then we increase the value of y-axis and then it becomes the 350. Now see how this will be drawn. So now we have drawn this two lines of square. To draw the third line, we have to decrease the x-axis value by taking the first value of the second line. So to draw the third line, as I have told you that the last value, that is the second point of the previous line, becomes the first point of the next line. So in this example, 350 becomes the starting point of the third line. Now we have to draw the line in an x-axis form by decreasing the value of x and by remaining the y-axis value same. So in this example we will take the x-axis value, end point of x-axis is 200 and end point of y2 is 350 as well. Now see that how our shapes look like. Our third line has been drawn. We have to start with the fourth line. We will use the same concept. ending point of last line becomes the first point of next line. So because now we have to draw the y-axis in a decreasing point, that is the starting point of our squares. So it becomes the 200 because this line will ends at the starting point of the square. So now run the program. You will see we have draw the square. So this is the basic thing, that how you have to think when you have to draw the basic shapes or custom shapes using your functions or your own parameters. Now let's see another example. If we have to draw the triangle, so to draw the triangle we have to first let's make these a comment to make this as a more understandable. To draw the triangle, first we have to draw the base of the triangle by using the line. So base of the triangle will be drawn. Let's take this value that is 150, 150, and the same, take the 150 difference between the x-axis. If we run the program, the base of the triangle has been drawn. Now what is the logic that if we have to draw the left side or right side of the triangle, if we see that we have to start with the any point of the line, that is one angle where that we can say that left side will be starts from the starting point of the line and the right side of triangle will be starts from the ending point of the line. So starting value of line either will be the starting value of base line or ending value of base. What about the second value for the triangle? Second value for the triangle, if we have to draw the triangle, then it is clear that x-axis of the either side will be the mid of this base. So it means x-axis value of second point will be the mid value of this base. A mid value of this base means our starting value of x-axis is 150 and ending value of x-axis is 300. So there is a 150 difference between the starting and ending point. So mid value of this becomes the 75. So if we add the 75 of the x-axis value, that becomes the mid value of our x-axis value for the any side of the triangle. Now second point is, what about the y-axis? Y-axis, if we have to draw the line, so we have to decrease the y-axis, because in the previous lecture we have discussed that origin of the screen starts from the top left. So we are going to the origin, so we have to decrease the value as well of y-axis. Now by using this method I am drawing the left side of the triangle. So starting point of the triangle will be the same, and now 150 plus 75 becomes the 225. That is the midpoint of x-axis. And now what about the y-axis? We have to make the triangle in a decreasing way. So we have to decrease the value of y-axis. Let's take as 100. So we decrease it by 50. Now run the program. You will see that one line has been drawn, that is the left side of triangle has been drawn. In the similar way, if we have to draw the right side of the triangle, that is the first value of line will be the end point of the baseline, that will be the 150. In the similar way, the midpoint of x becomes the 225 and value of y will be the same, so that both line meets at the single point. Now, run the program and you will see that we have drawn the triangle by using this method. So this is the basic things, how we have to think about the things when we have to draw the custom image. By using the same things, you can draw the other images as well. As I will show you the starting example of hut. If we have to draw the hut, then first we have to draw the square, then we have to draw the triangle to make it the front side of roof, and similar way then we have to draw the rectangle to make front door of the hut. And similar way, if we calculate the things starting and ending point of the line, we can easily draw the hut in this basic idea. So let's take an example. If I have this triangle that starts from the 150, 150, 300, and I have to make the front of the hut, because if we take it, it is the roof of the hut. So base of the triangle will remain the same, and then by taking the base first line of this, we have to draw the square. So when we have to draw the square, as we have discussed earlier, then first we have to draw the left hand side. Left hand side means ending point of first line. For your convenience, I am taking it like this. There is no difference. If we change the order of this, it will draw the shapes as well, because coordinates are same. So this is our first line of our square. So we have to draw the second line. To draw the second line, that is the right side of a square. So the end point of first line becomes the starting point of this. Now we have to draw this square in the y-axis form in increasing order. In this way, x-axis will remain same and y-axis will be incremented by 200, that becomes the 350. So if we draw this and we see the partial, and you can see that we have started the draw the door of the hut. In the similar way, we have to draw the next line, that is the bottom line of the square. So same idea, that starting point of the previous line becomes the first point of the next line. Now we have to change the value of x-axis by taking the same value of y-axis. So there is a difference of 200 between this. So it means we have to decrease the 200 value from the x-axis and take the y2 value as same. So you will see we have drawn the hut. So there, as there is a, you can see there's some difference in the hut base point. So I change like this. So this is the 150 difference between this, because our triangle baseline has a 150 difference. That's why we have to take the x-axis difference is 150 and y-axis difference is 200. Now I have to draw the last line of the square on the same concept, taking the last coordinates of the line same, that is the last coordinates of the previous line will becomes the first coordinate of next line, and so obvious we have about to complete the square. So what is the starting values of the square? That becomes the end point of this square. And now you can see the easily that we have drawn the roof, base, front of roof and front of the door of the hut. In a similar way, if we draw the rectangle in a square, then it becomes the door of the hut. So this is the basic idea how we can draw the customer shapes. Try to complete the hut by using this concept. I am sure that you can easily draw the things by understanding this. Thank you.